Hello everyone, this is Matt Broderick, back for the second episode of the DIY series for whywetshave.com. First episode, we had an introduction, why I'm doing this, because I like good stuff like this, I like to help, and it's fun. And we cleaned up a safety razor. We didn't do anything really deep or hardcore, so this time we're going to clean up a straight razor. It's just going to be a surface restoration, sometimes referred to as a light resto, something like that. There's nothing wrong with this razor. It's dirty, it's tarnished. We'll show you some very basic ways to get it clean, put a shine on it, and without doing any damage or having to pop the scales or anything like that. Let's get to it, and I hope you enjoy everything we're going to do. So today we're going to clean a straight razor. This is a Kloss straight razor, good brand, well known, not one of the super popular you have to have it brands, but good all the same, holds a very nice edge. As you can see, very little hone wear right there. Yeah, let's see if I get this there. Hone wear. It's been sharpened, but it has not been ground down poorly or anything like that by a bad honer. Same on this side. We have a little bit of rust here at the tip. Let's see if we can zoom in on that a little bit. Yeah, it's not going to work. So, some surface rust up here and here. Discoloration. And a streak of discoloration here, which I think is going to come right off. Let's see. Down here we have a good stabilizers, no issues, no heel hooks. Blade looks to be pretty even width-wise all the way across. Nice round point, no chips, no nicks. We go up here into the tang on the non-show side. There's no stamping. We don't have anything here, just a little dirty, not a big deal. Notice we do not have any jimping, don't got to clean those out. There is a little bit of jimping on the bottom of the tang here, as you can see, I hope. But they're nice wide jimps, should clean up very well. And then we do have our Kloss stamp here. There we go. It's still fairly deep. We shouldn't lose any of it. We're not doing sanding, so no issues there. As far as our scales, nice and clean and straight. No issues. Let's see. Pins, a little tarnished. It's a nickel silver pin on both sides. Still in good shape. A little dirt there. So this is not bad at all. This is almost a spit shine or something like that. So this is our project. Tools we're going to use. Handy dandy Q-tips. If we need to, we have pipe cleaner. This is a little baggie of steel wool which I use. It's 0000, that is 4 zeros, steel wool. It's very, very fine. We also have Blue Magic. Good stuff. I like to use it. We went over it last time. It's cheap. It works very well. We're not going to do any sandpaper as of right now because this should clean up really well as it is. If we did do some sandpaper, it might be some high grit. Start off with like 1,000 grit and see what we get. We will cover doing sandpaper in a future episode. But it shouldn't be needed for this. This is how I clean them up. There's no right way. There's no wrong way. Don't worry about it. Alright, so I'll pop these open. One thing which you have to read in the instructions on here is to mix it up really well because it will separate. You see some liquid pooling up in the corners here. I mixed this up earlier for another razor, which I cleaned up. These are my shish kebabs. I'm sure there's more efficient ways to do it, but you know, whatever. I've used these over and over and over again. So I have some dirty old rags. These used to be washcloths to wash my kids. What do you do with those baby stuff once they grow out of it? You make rags out of it. So what I do is I just start putting a slather on there. I'm a big believer, no one really knows and no one's told me I'm wrong. And if they do, they still got to prove it because it's just an opinion as far as I'm concerned. I think if you slather it on there and just let it sit a little bit, it's still going to break down stuff, loosen some stuff up, and not just your surface dirt and stuff like that. So, depending on how bad it is, you could walk away for a couple minutes and come back. This isn't all that bad. So, you do get a pinch grip and just start working it back and forth. Put a little pressure on it because that creates a little friction, which creates a little heat. The friction helps rub the compound in a little bit. Heat accelerates chemical reactions, and I believe the chemical makeup of this, the ammonia and what other blue magic this is made up of, is a part of that. So that's already cleaned up quite a bit right there. I'm not shocked. This is not a bad looking blade. Hit it again. I'll show you something where you know you're getting tarnish off. Alright. Blade looks a lot better already, doesn't it? We've done this for like a minute. Now you look here where we had it pinched, and you see some black lines. That black is telling me something's getting pulled out of the metal and sucked onto here. This looks clean right here and right now. We'll get a nice and white. I like to put a fold in it. You see that? I'm betting you're going to see a little heat, a little pressure. You still see some black right there. That's coming off the clean blade, so you're still pulling stuff out of there. Now what you're doing here is you're putting, as we pinch it, most of the pressure is on the side of the blade here, the side of the blade there. If it's bad, you might need to hold the blade here, just work the spine. Spine doesn't look bad. Like I said, it's a very clean blade. Alright, sometimes you gotta work the tip in here. I'll go like this. And remember, this is sharp. Even a dull straight razor will still cut the hell out of you. So, the more decorated your spine is, your tip is, the more interesting this could be. So, let's look at that. Yeah. Not perfection by any means. You see a little bit of, as this light hits it, the mar there. There's a little bit up here as well. The other side, you can see a little bit still here. And just a little touch up there. All in all, looking pretty good. First deep clean, we'll go through the rest of it before we go back and focus on those spots there. See what other tips and tricks we can do. So we're gonna get our nasty rag again and do it again. Let's put some slather in there. Alright, word of warning. Say you're doing what I'm doing and you're slathering stuff in here and trying to go to it and let this wonderful compound do its magic. And it does. It works really well. However, you get it into your pivot here, into the joint, the contact surface is, which keeps this tight. It's tight enough where it'll hold up like this, right? It's not a super tight, but it's not bad. You work this in there and some gets in there and you can't get it out. It'll make this more slick. And you can tighten this pivot pin as much as you want. You just put a lubricant in there, a grease, which has a silicone base in it, which it actually does. And so your pivot pin's never going to be as tight. And you could tighten it as much as you want, and you'll split your scales. So, fair warning, something which you have to watch out for. This a real easy cheat. You can see how this shines up that pretty good as well. Unfortunately, it leaves some fingerprints, which I don't like, but what do you expect? Alrighty, I'll go in a little bit more. There we go. Okay, this is the non-show side. When I say show side and non-show side, when you usually see your razor, someone's taking pictures of it, it's looking all pretty. It's going to be something like this as it's propped up, except right there will be whatever stamp is on there. Oh, come on. Except on the show side will be whatever stamping right there, your Wade & Butcher, whatever popular thing is on there right now. That is your show side. Your non-show side will be the back side. It might have made in Germany or something, 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 something. This does not have anything at all, so it really fits the non-show side really well. I've never seen anyone actually put that out, but I've seen it referred to enough that that's what makes sense. So, we're on here. Be careful not to press down on the hollow of your blade. I'm actually putting my fingers on the spine here, just to hold this still a little bit. There we go. You can see the stamp much better. You can see some wear right here from this being open and closed, and a little there as well. Unless you hit sandpaper, that's not going away. The more I look at this, the less I'm thinking we're going to be doing sandpaper, and that's okay. The more you handle a project, whether it be a straight razor or we're storing a brush, a classic car, whatever, the more you monkey with it, you might be the best there is, but the more you monkey with it, the greater the chances something's going to go wrong. Right? The more hands that touch it, the more chances are someone's going to F it up. Learned that in the Navy. I'm sure it's true everywhere. So we had some jumps down here. These are very shallow jumps, very wide. Got almost more for looks than anything else. I'm not even sure you could see them here. There you go. Not a lot there, but kind of easy to clean. A spot a lot of people forget is right here. These crevice in between the blade. Right there, just a little spot. Sometimes it's a very sharp corner. It's kind of hard to get. Sometimes people don't get the jumps as well very much either. But all right, so you're going and you're working. You get back to your pivot area. Think, oh, I'll get the little tail real quick. And all right, so how do you get that little bit of gunk right in there? Same question in here, right in there. Well, I have 3 methods, I'll say. There's not a whole lot here, but we'll show you all of them. So, get a piece of cloth, fold it up a couple times, dip it in your magic goop, and you get it in there and you work it back and forth, work it back and forth. Move your pivot around a little bit. If you didn't have anything in there to act as a lubricant before, doing something like this is going to do it. Hey, you got to make that choice. It's your razor. If you're doing work for someone else, well, God, I hope you know something better. If you do, share it with us. Share it with me. I'll make a video. I'll post it up and show you. I'll write me a letter. I'll try it out. It's all good. Alright, so, hey, that's a little better. You can see a little blue goop in there still. That thing to do is toothpick. Squish the end. Goober it up. Just work it in there. Let's look at the edges sometimes really well. Alright. Let that sit there. Then I'll show you my favorite trick. I don't even know where I saw this. Someone said something about this and I tried it. So I like Q-tips. They're great for polishing. But you go there and they don't fit. It's not just the tip, it's the stick itself. So, great tip, little trick. You might want to cover your ears. You go here and guess what? It's nice and flat. Now it should fit. My wife's going to come yell at me in a second because I probably just woke up my kids. Let's see. But go here, you got your blue goop. And hey, look at that. It fits in there. Goop it up. This is also great for cleaning between your scales for all the other soap scum and crap and all the amazing other layers of crap that you find in there sometimes. That just completely disgusts me. Let's see all that goodness we got out of there. Flip it over maybe. Hit some there. Alright, maybe go to the other side, hit a little more because it is my preferred method. Try not to cut yourself. Have some band-aids on hand. Release some pressure and then, hey, rub it down in there. Give it a shot. You like that? Yeah, nasty. Alright, gonna grab our clean rag. Give it a good wipe down all over. It's funny, I have friends of mine, oh, you sell all that vintage stuff, you must make a bank on this. I was like, well, buy something in a lot, maybe drop, 10 to 20 bucks a razor, if not more sometimes, depending on what you're trying to get. You might get lucky, get something like this and spend a half hour on it and it cleans up pretty good. More likely you're going to spend an hour to an hour and a half on it, maybe up to 3 hours if you got to do everything. So, 3 hours at work, even if you're in your real job, you only make 15, 20 bucks an hour. That's, say 15 bucks an hour for 3 hours of work. That's another 45 bucks. You hone it, that's another, another $15 or $20 worth of work for surface work right there. And then you turn around and you want to sell it just to so you can do it again, pretty much, because you're never going to be rich doing this. And you want to sell it for 65, 80 bucks. Well, you paid 15 bucks for it. You put $45 worth of work in it. There's 60 bucks right there. And you honed it, even if you write that off at $60. Sell it for 65 bucks. It's a $5 profit. That's not even, PayPal fees or something like that. So people bitch about having to spend so much money. Well, yeah, craftsmen doing work. Even if you're a low-level one like me, it takes time. All right, enough bitching. So, that's a pretty good shot there. You could get a pretty good idea. Alright, so on the blade itself, we still have a little bit of shadowing there, or very light surface etch. Got a little touch of something up here as well. And then you could see more here and a touch here, and just a little bit at the tip from what we talked about before. Now this stuff, it's not going to go away. You've actually lost a little bit of metal because of rust, so you have a surface etching. This is where you could do a real light sanding and get rid of it. If it's just something like this and I don't have to do the whole blade, I prefer not to. I would clean it up really well so there's no more black in there, and then I might get, like, let's see, I have a sponge which I got at an auto body store, which is rated as a 3000 grit. I might hit the whole thing with that, and it might blend it in a little bit more. But I'm not as comfortable doing sanding as many other people. I mean, it's a perfectly functional blade, looks good. I guess if I put in that extra half hour to hour and a half, I can get that extra $10 I asked for, but you're falling even farther behind the curve. I know it's a hobby and it's not a living, but I got other things to do sometimes. I'll get there someday. Or not. Alright, so more Blue Magic goop. And seriously, this is my first answer for everything. If I was Greek, it'd be like me putting Windex and everything, right? You ever seen that movie, My Big Fat Greek Wedding? Yeah, my wife loves that. Alright. Yeah, we're just gonna do this. I won't even have to do much editing on this one. It's gonna be pretty short and sweet, as long as I don't drop it at the end. See that black that came off? Our clean blade? Good stuff, huh? Let's see if we can do that again. Clean. Now, the harder part for me when I'm doing a polish like this, a little more black, is when we have the spots just up at the tip there. It's hard to get a full stroke back and forth because you're just hitting that and you're worried about falling off, and when you're coming back, hitting it too hard and catching yourself on the edge there. It's just kind of a pain in the butt. That and the shoulders. You got some groove corners there, and it just needs a little more work sometimes. Sometimes if I have some gunk build up, I'll get a toothpick or a Q-tip or whatnot and spend a minute on that. Try to get that tip a little bit. Alright. Looks pretty good. no problem giving this to a friend or selling this to someone or putting in my daily rotation, which I need to slim down, so I'm not going to do that. So, like I said, we cleaned this up. You could still see it. You're going to see it right there too. But you know what? That's alright. Get a little bit right here as well. But hey, it's a nice looking little blade. It's a real quick cleanup. Maybe go back through and you see some goobers on there. Sometimes right where it meets the scales, you'll see a line around there. And you could get the wax and dirt build up by breaking it free like that. And hit it again. So, the show side on there. Ta-da! Real quick cleanup, nothing special. You don't need everything to make it happen. I've had things that look worse than this and just keep sitting there and hitting it with some elbow grease over and over and over. We didn't need it this time, but another hint and tip. If you have a layer of surface rust on there and you want to speed things up and not be getting your rag and doing it back and forth over and over and over, get your steel wool. And I have a piece somewhere. Dip it in here and scrub with this. It's steel, so it's not going to scratch your steel here, right? And if you have pitting or stuff like that, the combination of your polish and the mechanical action of this here will help really clean all that out a lot. Makes a huge difference. Don't worry about it scratching up your blade, because if you're doing this, you're already past that point and you're going to have to repolish it if you want a shiny blade anyways. Not that it'll do much. You could really make everything a lot easier. If you have rust, spots, bumps, whatnot, get a single edge razor blade and just scrape it off. It will save you a ton of time. Someone else showed me that on the Straight Razor Place forum. Which, by the way, if you like yourself your straight razors, you like to get, especially your vintage ones, great source of information for let's see what's out there for how to clean them up. Tons of stuff. A lot of good people there. I'd say got some friends there who I've known for years now. Good people. Check them out. There's a lot of good people out there for the different forums. If you're not a part of the forums, you don't even have to sign up. Just go there and start reading. Great stuff. Alright, my name's Matt Broderick for Why Wet Shave, the shave blog / DIY, how you do all this kind of stuff. Hope you liked the video. If you do, please leave a comment. If this is on YouTube, and I'll get back to you, or on the blog, and I'll get back to you as well. Any questions, comments, concerns? Hey, I like to share, I like to learn, I don't know it all, like I've said. If this was helpful, maybe someone else will find it helpful as well, and you could share it with them. Thank you very much, and until next time, this is Matt Broderick, signing off.